Hey there, welcome to my channel. Let's learn science. The process by which green plants and some other organisms convert light energy into chemical energy is called photosynthesis. All plants perform this process. Most of them carry out photosynthesis in their leaves, which contain an important green substance known as chlorophyll. Chlorophyll absorbs light energy from the sun. So let's understand how photosynthesis works with the help of an example. Let's take the example of a plant placed in sunlight. This plant has several leaves. The leaves have chlorophyll so they can absorb light energy from the sun. Now, if we take one leaf and observe its upper surface, it has small pores. These pores are called stomata. Each pore is surrounded by two guard cells that can open and close the pore. These pores are similar to our mouths. When they are open, exchange of gases can take place through them. If we look at the lower surface of the leaf, we will also see many pores. These are also stomata. There are many such pores in a leaf. Under a microscope, these pores appear like small mouths. Inside the leaf, there is a green substance called chlorophyll. Chlorophyll absorbs light energy from the sun. It is present in small bean-shaped structures called chloroplasts found in the cells of the leaf. Let's take one chloroplast and zoom inside it. Inside the chloroplast, we will find a fluid-filled space called the stroma. In the stroma, there is a membrane-bound structure known as the thylakoid. The thylakoids contain chlorophyll and are arranged in stacks called granum, plural of granum. Granum. If we take one granum, we will find a pigment called chlorophyll. Chlorophyll absorbs light energy from the sun. In addition to chlorophyll, the chloroplast contains enzymes, proteins, carbohydrates, and lipids. Plants use these materials to carry out various metabolic processes. The entire process of photosynthesis can be divided into two phases. First phase, the light-dependent reactions, and second phase, the light-independent reactions, or the Calvin cycle. The light-dependent reactions occur in the thylakoids, while the light-independent reactions occur in the stroma. So let's first understand what happens during the light-dependent reactions. Light-dependent reactions are those reactions of photosynthesis which depend on light. In the light-dependent reactions, light energy is absorbed by the pigment called chlorophyll and then converted into chemical energy in the form of ATP and NADPH. During this process, water molecules are split and oxygen gas is released. So this process is also called photolysis of water. Water acts as an electron donor. As a result, electrons are released and these electrons are used to generate ATP and NADPH. This process occurs in the thylakoid membrane. Here you can see that light energy is absorbed by chlorophyll and water is split into oxygen, protons, and electrons. Oxygen gas is released, and electrons along with protons are used to make ATP and NADPH. You may ask what happens to the protons. The protons diffuse from the stroma to the thylakoid lumen, creating a proton gradient across the thylakoid membrane. This potential energy is used by the enzyme ATP synthase to produce ATP from ADP and inorganic phosphate. So this is how ATP is produced. On the other hand, NADPH is produced when electrons combine with NADP+ and H+ ions. So this is how photosynthesis produces energy currency, that is ATP and NADPH. And you may note down that this process also releases oxygen gas as a byproduct. Now let's talk about the second phase of photosynthesis, that is light-independent reactions, also called the Calvin cycle. The light-independent reactions occur in the stroma of chloroplasts. The major events that occur during the Calvin cycle are carbon fixation, reduction, and regeneration of ρBp. Carbon dioxide enters the Calvin cycle and combines with a 5-carbon compound called ribulose bisphosphate. This reaction is catalyzed by the enzyme rubisco. Rubisco is one of the most abundant proteins on Earth. During carbon fixation, a 6-carbon compound is formed, but it is unstable and breaks down to form 2 molecules of 3-phosphoglycerate. So you can write the overall reaction of carbon fixation like this. We need 1 molecule of carbon dioxide and 1 molecule of RuBP to form 2 molecules of 3-phosphoglycerate. This reaction is catalyzed by the enzyme Rubisco. Then 3-phosphoglycerate is reduced to form glyceraldehyde 3-phosphate using ATP and NADPH from the light-dependent reactions. This step requires another enzyme. So here you can see that 3 molecules of ATP and 3 molecules of NADPH are used to reduce 3 molecules of 3-phosphoglycerate to form 3 molecules of glyceraldehyde 3-phosphate. Glyceraldehyde 3-phosphate is a 3-carbon compound. Some of this product leaves the Calvin cycle to form glucose and other organic compounds. The remaining glyceraldehyde 3-phosphate is used to regenerate RuBP so that the Calvin cycle can continue. This process requires 1 ATP per molecule of glyceraldehyde 3-phosphate. So now you understand that in the light-dependent reactions we get ATP and NADPH and release oxygen gas, while in the light-independent reactions, that is the Calvin cycle, ATP and NADPH are consumed and carbon dioxide is fixed to form glucose. So let's summarize the inputs and outputs of these reactions. In the light-dependent reactions, inputs are light energy, water, and pigments, and the outputs are ATP, NADPH, and oxygen. While in the Calvin cycle, inputs are carbon dioxide, ATP, and NADPH, and the output is glucose and other organic compounds. Also note down that ATP and NADPH are produced in the light-dependent reactions and consumed in the Calvin cycle. So let's recap what we learned in this video. Photosynthesis is the process by which plants make food using light energy, carbon dioxide, and water. In plants, the leaves are the primary site for photosynthesis. The green pigment called chlorophyll absorbs light energy. The process of photosynthesis occurs in 2 phases. First phase is light-dependent reactions, and the second phase is the light-independent reactions, or the Calvin cycle. In light-dependent reactions, light energy is converted into chemical energy in the form of ATP and NADPH, and oxygen gas is released. In the light-independent reactions, carbon dioxide is fixed to form glucose using the energy from ATP and NADPH. So that's all for today. If you enjoyed this video, hit the like button and subscribe to the channel. Do let me know in comments what do you think about this video. Thanks for watching. Take care, and I will see you in the next video.